almost a week into practice this afternoon, the first time with full pads. What's your take on the first 6 days so far?
Well, I think obviously this is the third time through a system, both sides of the ball, and guys are picking it up a lot faster. We're able to practice a lot faster right now, and we haven't had a lot of contact yet, which is okay. You know, as the minds are going, we want to try to keep the bodies healthy. But really happy with, obviously, the spirit of the practices have been great, and guys are really excited about what's happening.
First full time and full pads will be this afternoon. What becomes different? What's different than the walkthroughs and just having the shoulder pads on? What's different when it becomes full pads?
Well, learning to carry your pads. I think obviously this is the first time they're going to do it all year, and they got to learn throughout the preseason to learn to carry their pads and play fast with it. And we got to still be able to play at a good tempo without tackling to the ground all the time. And, you know, sometimes when they put full pads on, they think everything's got to be live, but we don't want to do that. We want to keep them healthy. We want to make sure we practice fast.
Looking at the offensive side of the ball, you're going to have a new quarterback, new running back with Holloman gone and San Giacomo gone. Who stood out so far in both of those positions for you?
Well, there's a huge quarterback battle going on right now with Paldo and Dolgala and Balaki, and even Isaiah has had a couple of great days here, Isaiah Diaz-Mays. And, you know, I just feel like it's going to be a great competition all the way through practice 24 before we make a decision. And in the backfield, Mike Peterson has really stepped up right now with Litton being a little dinged up. And Mike's done a great job. And even Devin Lofton, who had a great summer, and he's ready to go. He really looks special right now out there.
How about defensively, if there were a couple guys on that side of the ball that have stood out here in the first 6 days?
Well, Shakur Privet, one of our inside linebackers, is in phenomenal shape, and he's bigger and stronger than he's been. And our entire D-line is just they're much different right now. They're bigger and stronger, more physical. And Austin Wazinski is, you know, I think he's poised to have a great year if he can stay healthy through this preseason.
A couple of weeks ago, we went down to New Jersey for the NEC Media Day, and we drove down there with two guys, Javon Elmore and Brendan Litton. Why did you pick those two guys to go down there? What do you think about those two guys that you wanted them to represent your program?
Well, first of all, they're both great players, but more importantly, they were great leaders throughout the entire summer and through spring practice even. It's just those guys are going to be big for what we if we're going to have success, it's going to be because of them.
What do you have to do in camp for the next week? Do you take it in daily segments? Do you take it in weekly segments? Do you take it in individual practice segments? How does it work for them?
Yeah, we try to take it daily, you know, to see where you are health-wise each day and how much hitting you do and how much you install is based on how much they're absorbing. And we have a plan, obviously, day to day, but it'll adjust day by day based on health and how the guys are. We're going to still have a lot of young kids playing, so we got to make sure they pick it up. And sometimes it's better to just slow down a little bit and let them pick it up and play fast.
Take us through a day. Say, use today as an example. From when these guys wake up to when they go to bed, what are they doing?
Well, we have 7 o'clock mandatory breakfast. 8 o'clock is our first. Half the group is meetings. Half the group is lifting, and we do that till 10. We came out here for our 1 hour walkthrough. We do a lot of special teams in the walkthrough. A lot of little nuanced things in there. They're off for a while until we come back at 2 o'clock for our meetings, pre-practice, and then 3 o'clock we have our practice. We go 3 to 5:30. From there we go to dinner, and then later on tonight we'll have a special teams meeting, and then we'll go into our team meeting, which is usually about 25-30 minutes, and then into our positional meetings, and lights out about 10:30 tonight.
It's still kind of new. We're only about 6 days into camp. When do you get to the point where these kids are looking for that daily game week schedule to kick in?
I would usually, it's around practice 10 or 11 is when they're, the legs start to get heavy, and they're kind of tired of the monotony, but we're going to try to keep it fresh. And we have obviously a great strength coach, Mike Erickson, and he changes things up for us, gets them in the pool, uses the pool as a great tool for us to get the legs back and stay flexible. And obviously the weight room, he does a great job in there with our mobility and flexibility and core strength. So that's going to help us get through it.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you again next week.
You got it, thanks.
Astronauts be champions, standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah, yeah.